Good evening, humans. Tyrannosaurusmoth here, and tonight we are finally taking a look at the dinosaur battlefield, the carnivorous Kin's T-Rex Bloodblade, aka King Tyrannosaurus figure from AxyToys. Let's do this. Aesthetically speaking, these figures are just breathtaking, and part of that is just due to the sheer size of them. They are huge, and beyond that, it's just sculpt from head to toe. Just insane amounts of sculpt, and all just exquisitely done. I mean, just looking at that face, that's a perfect expression. And, you know, all that skin texture, we see even the inside of the mouth is done. Even got a wash going on in there. The teeth have a little bit of a wash, just perfectly serrated. And eyes are nice and sharp. Not only that, but the stripes aren't too bold. They're there, they make their mark. But, you know, they don't distract. And then we just got the shades, the colors themselves, and like, I love this shade of red. And not only that, but the fact that it's combined with purple on this particular figure, obviously that makes me happy. Red and purple being my favorite color combination, and my favorite colors. So just, yeah, insane stuff. And the green in the eye on the red one is absolutely just beautiful. Love that. And then we get to the purple one. I do have all three on order. Obviously I have these two here, and the black one is one I will be getting probably around Christmas, maybe after Christmas, depends. A family member picked that one up for me, so but for now we're looking at these two. And yeah, the purple one, which is limited, this is a 1 of 800, and just again, you know, obviously the details are all the same, but then we get the like blood red eye, just as striking as the green on the red. And yeah, just a really great shade of purple, pretty much matches my walls. And they did the stripes in this really striking blue that just sticks out. And here it does kind of draw your eye, where on the red, the black stripes are kind of just blend in and kind of work with it. This one, they stand out, they look like war paint, and I'm pretty sure that was probably intentional. Not only that, but this kind of nice sickly green for the chest works exceptionally well. And beyond being two different colors, these are the armored and the unarmored. So this is the basic one. So we can see that this gives us a look at the buck itself. So we can continue looking on at the tail. Really like the way they did kind of heavier scales on the top. This gives it kind of a meaner look, a more armored and aggressive look. And yeah, just really great work all around. And like I said, head to toe, even beyond the toe, on the underfoot, like just everything, so much detail. And beyond that, I can definitely see some people having issue with the joints, because they do stick out, and clearly it's just a colored plastic of generally the kind of underbody, or I guess front. But you know, again, with joints this heavy, and you know, basically if the joints were painted, it's just gonna rub off. So it's really better to do it this way. I don't really think there was probably a better process they could have done. So it absolutely works, but I can definitely see people having an issue with it. But when you have all the armor on, you don't notice as much anyway. So in that case, I would definitely recommend getting the armored version. But speaking of the armor, and we'll look at more of it in the next section, but for the armor that is on right out of the box, you can see just some insanely good details. And we actually have actual like fake leather going on here with some black details in there for the kind of tribal design. We do get actual buckles, so these come off. You can literally, just like a belt, just insane. Or you can slide the hand off and take these off. And we get the armor pieces themselves with the, like, some basically a kind of deep gray base with some gold on top, and then even touches of like this blood kind of spattered on there. Just very nicely done. We get that on the other arm as well. Then we come to the belt, and much like other dinosaurs in the line, or the Carnotaurus, we do get kind of the furry belt piece. And again, the fur is also just very luxurious feeling, just so soft. We continue with the leather. We even get some chain going on here as well. We get some more details here on the sides. And then for the belt buckle, we have this, I don't know what that is, but it is an incredible looking skull with two tusks coming down the front here, like probably an elephant or something. And yeah, just so good all around. So no matter what version you get, just insane amounts of detail. Okay, brace yourselves because for accessories, there is a lot. And yeah, this is all for the armored version. For the basic version, all we get are a couple of hands. So because both figures come with the same hands, right out of the box on both of them, we get a left kind of clawed, kind of, orb gripping hand, and then I get a right pointing hand. And then for alternate hands, we get a couple of grips. So fantastic all around. And then we get into everything we get with the armored version. So one thing I do want to point out that I didn't point out in the last section, actually, with the aesthetics, because I'm not taking the armor off this guy, is with the blood splatter I mentioned earlier, I just noticed that the walrus, elephant, whatever this is, there's blood on the tips of the tusks. So I guess just imagine how that was used. Yeah, and that's the thing. But getting into the actual accessory. So I guess we'll continue with the armor. And we have a pair of pauldrons, and these look exquisite. As you can see, tons of sculpted detail. We again get that kind of very dark iron base with the gold painted over it with some blood splatter. You can see the kind of the top kind of looks like a dinosaur head with some horns, almost looks kind of like Tyrannosaurus, which we're actually getting next. And so that's amazing. And of course, as with all the armor in this line so far, this does come apart. So you can see there's more sculpted detail below that. Just so many options, so many different ways to do things here. As you can see, oh, and the horn comes off too. So literally just so much modularity. It's kind of overwhelming, to be completely honest. And yeah, that just kind of plugs in there, which isn't going to work at the moment. So I'm just going to leave that. Then we get on to the headgear, and he does have this kind of mask helmet piece with some kind of bone worked into it. We got some gold rivets holding that in, and this is probably the flexiest piece we have. And we can see that there's a little kind of stretchy wire back here, and that is to hold it onto the head. So this goes under the jaw and then kind of stays on the head. And as you can see, mine's a little warped. I'm probably gonna heat this up a little bit just to kind of get it back to form. But great work there. And you can see there's more holes for more different things depending on how you want to display it. One of those things being a Triceratops skull, and this thing is absolutely beautiful. Just obviously the bone with more of that metal look on top of it. The horns got this really cool like twist and curl to it, more blood going on with the horn points. So yeah, just crazy stuff. And you can see that there is that metal pole at the bottom, and that is what kind of allows it to insert into that rest of that helmet. Then I guess for the main pieces, we do get a necklace. So the final of the main pieces, we get this necklace. So as you can see, actual cord. We got a bead here at the back. It is tied off. And then we get these nice gold pieces. I think that's actual metal too. So really nice touch there. And then we get this little symbol here. Just really cool design. I kind of love that. So yeah, and detailed all around, of course. Then we get some dangly bits and just stuff that can be pretty much attached anywhere. So as you can see, you got some bone, this medallion sort of piece. There's that. Then we get this other one, which is a triangle with some more bones on it, and all that red kind of wrapping. Very cool there. And then finally, we get this kind of bird skull, and that is excellent as well. And then we get some gold chain on this one as well, kind of like we see on the belt piece. All right, moving on. Actually, and I guess in addition, we get a whole baggie of extra hangy bits. So we see the hoof that we saw with the Carnotaurus leader. We got more spikes and blades and all of that. We get this little like bony hand. Just so many options. We also have the pins that went in the pauldrons to keep it on the back. So that is all in there. Then we move on to the cape, and the cape is just gorgeous and wired, and that's even better. So we get this huge space. You can see that nice and tattered at the bottom. It is also soft as all get out, just absolutely luxurious feeling. And then again, really nice heavy wire to get some nice poses out of. And you can see we got these two hooks, and those just hook into the front of the pauldrons. So there's that. Moving on to weapons. And first off, we get this huge axe piece. You can see kind of almost kind of half moon sort of deal going on there. Just beautiful aging on this, blood splatter here on the blade, good stuff. And there is then another one of those metal rods, and that lets it go with this piece, which is a sword, very, very serrated sword. Again, gold with iron sort of look to it. You can see the peg on the bottom, with the peg hole on the bottom, pardon me, and those just port together. So you can make a sort of mega weapon, just insane, beautifully done as well. And I think this might be exclusive. I thought they said there was a bonus gift with getting this one off of 5K Toys, which is where I got mine. And it's this kind of scepter, and this looks really cool, kind of a skull sort of look here at the top. And just some nice detailing here on the handle and all around. Very, very mean looking and rather sharp as well, actually. That kind of hurt. Then finally, or not finally, almost finally, something I forgot to mention with the helmet, they do give you spare rubber bands just in case one snaps, which is good. And we get a piece of foam. I'm not actually sure what that is for, so let me know if you know in the comments below. Then we get, just like we got with the Carnotaurus leader, we get this cool postcard. This one is huge, about a third more of the size. We get the story for the character, Carnivorous King, not Carnivorous Kin. The back of the box actually said Carnivorous Kin, so that's why I said that. But you get that, and you can read the whole bio if you want. So fantastic there. And then finally, the last piece that you get with the purple version is this nice little envelope, which is right on top of the box. And I was like, oh, that looks fancy. And open it up, and there's actually, I believe this feels like it's actual like aluminum or something, a card that actually tells you the number you have. So I have number 28 of 800, and that's amazing. You get the purple symbol with the T-Rex skull with the Triceratops skull on top of it, and AxyToys on the back. Beautiful, beautiful piece. And finally, that will do it for accessories. Articulation, balance here are insane as well, and as we can see, can hold a freestanding kick. All of these joints are nice and just the right tensity. They're tight but not too tight. They move freely because of that, and as you can see, we can definitely get some nice balance. I'm not using that tail to prop it up, so yeah, just amazing stuff. So getting to the finer points for the head neck situation, we do have a barbell going from the head into the neck, and then neck into the body. And that's gonna allow us to get up about that far, so you get some really nice running poses or crouch down poses. Get down about that far. We get look to the side, just so much mobility. They really just pretty much did perfectly. And as you can see, you don't get too much gapping, a little bit, but you're naturally gonna get that, especially where you want some room, and that's awesome. We get an articulated jaw, so we're opening that far, closing completely, no gaps. We have a floating butterfly for the shoulders, so we can go up and down, we can go forward and back, so get that for range. Then we get shoulders, hinge and swivel, coming up to a perfect T. We do have bicep swivel, single jointed elbows, bring us right to 90. We can swivel there as well. Then we have a swivel, hinge, swivel for the hands, so we can get pretty much anywhere we want to go. Really good distance there too. Again, that's why the joints are so exposed. Then we get ball joint in the diaphragm, ball joint in the waist, and pretty good crunch considering the size of this guy. Not crazy like Spider-Man style crunches, but definitely nice. And then we get some decent arch back. Again, you're gonna run into some sculpt. And then we get some gorgeous side to side as well. Gonna get a little gappy there for that though, so be aware of that. For our hips, coming out this far, that is not full splits, but that is really close for a figure this big. Absolutely beautiful. We do get thigh swivel there as well. Come to the legs, we're double jointed and fold completely in half. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Then we get to the feet. We get perfect point. We get fantastic forward. And then, of course we get some rocker there as well. And then all the toes are articulated. So we get up on all of them, come down, and They all swivel as well. So that will do it for articulation. I stand corrected, that won't do it for articulation. There's a tail. And that is on a hinge, just like the Carnotaurus was. So this will probably pop off so you can see there. Kind of goes up and down. This just kind of slides on. So you get up that far, down that far, and then we got a bendy wire for the tail, and pretty free. Definitely gonna run into the rubber a little bit, but can definitely get some range out of that. So that will do it for articulation. Getting into size comparisons, here they are with some other AxyToys in the forms of the Carnotaurus Warrior and Carnotaurus Leader. With some other anthropomorphic dinosaurs. With some Hasbro and some Mattel. With some other imports. With some other monsters. Finally, with an articulated icons Oni and yours truly in human form as a Valaverse Action Force figure. So my final thoughts on the Dinosaur Battlefield Tyrannosaurus King Bloodblade is that these figures are absolutely exquisite. Everything I wanted them to be and more. I cannot believe that these not only met expectations, but have just, like, I have not been able to put these down since I took them out of the box. And that is the highest endorsement, because that's really one of the main things I really judge figures by, especially at the end of the year. How fun is it to play with? And these are incredibly fun, whether you get the armored version, the basic version, just they're both great. AxyToys is clearly learning and, you know, taking critiques in and using that, because again, the head articulation here is miles away from that first Carnotaurus Warrior figure. And yeah, just so much good stuff going on here. So, you know, if you like anthropomorphic dinosaurs, if you like dinosaurs just as dinosaurs, you know, if you like the whole like sword and sorcery fantasy thing, there's something for a little bit of a lot of different groups here. So definitely do not sleep on these. These are incredible. The purple one especially is limited edition to 800. Again, you saw my numbered card that came with mine. So, you know, definitely get down on that if you're interested in Barney in his ultra form. But red and black are available right now. Not from, actually, AxyToys does not have their additional stock up. They're still getting out pre-orders. However, Big Bad Toy Store does still have pre-orders up for all three. So if you are interested, I'll have a link in the description below. And all that being said, I hope you found this review informative and somewhat entertaining. And if you did, I hope to see you back, because we do multiple reviews a week of action figures related to tokusatsu, dinosaurs, of course, monsters, pro wrestling, and more. So come on back, let's talk some more toys. Let's just escape the world for a while and, you know, kind of get lost in it. So yeah, hope to see you back. But ultimately, I just hope you are well. I hope that all of your toy dreams come true as mine have today. And most importantly, I hope that you and yours stay weird, simians.